Hello everyone. So, last video we did, we talked about um, reading files mostly. We did cover writing a little bit, but not too much. We're going to continue with how we can read files. So, we still have our planets.txt file over here with a couple of planets. And I'm going to write my planets file variable and set it equal to that document by using the open and then in quotes the name of the file. Now I'm not going to put the comma R for read because I know I'm just going to be reading the program, so like it's just going to work that way by default. And if we print out the planets, well, let's basically got to where we were yesterday. So we had a planets variable, planet file, and we did .read lines, which is going to make a list out of all the lines in that text file. So if we print that out, we get that list of everything in that text file, including the new line character when it jumps to a new line, and each as an item in a list. Now, what we did yesterday was we used a for loop to print out everything separately. So we could say for, each planet in the list of planets, we are going to print out the planet. Now, if we run it like this, let me get rid of this. If we run it like this, it prints out each planet in the list that we created, but there's a space in between. That's because in that original list there was always a /n, that new line space in them. If we wanted to get rid of that, we would use the .strip method, because that is literally taking away the /n part of each of those items in the list. So it leaves us with just the names of the planets. So that's about everything we covered. Now, what's some other stuff we can do? Well, there's other things like we used the reverse method on planets to print it in reverse order, which is cool. We can also use what is called the sorted function. So sorted. Now what is this going to do? Let's run it. Now it prints out something slightly different: Earth, Mars, Mercury, Venus. Now maybe we can tell which what it's doing here. And what it's doing is printing it out in, like the sorted function prints stuff out from the smallest value to the largest value. But in terms of strings, that means basically alphabetical order, typically. It would mess around a little bit if we had lowercase letters in the front, but since all the words are uppercased, it'll just print it out alphabetical order. That's how it sorts that file out. Okay, so that's just something else we can use when we're organizing files that we may be looking at. Other things Well, there's something that like if you want to like do the same exact thing to every single line in a file from like the beginning right to the end, what we can do is this thing called the for. Here's how. I'm just rambling right now, but what we can do is we'll say for. Well, I'll put a blank space first. Whoops, what is going on there? Okay, I'm just gonna put a blank space. Whoops. And then we have, I'll show you how this works. For, let's say for each line in our planets file. Now we're working with that original planets file, the one that's not already in a list. And what we're going to do with that is maybe I want to find the length of each word per line. So I'm going to print out using the len function and a line. So this is just a typical like naming convention for each line in the file. Do this to it. Now I'm gonna run it, and all right, what's going on there? Did I do it right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. For line in lines. Print the length of line. Maybe let's just get rid of this for now. There we go. Alright, I guess that was interfering with it. Yeah. Okay. So, this is something we can do. It prints out the length of each line, but the astute observer will notice, like Mars, for instance, doesn't have 5 letters, it has 4. And that's because it's still including that, like, the new line character, like when we use the read lines function. So to get rid of it, again, we're just going to use that dot strip method. So line dot strip, and now it's going to print out the more accurate lengths. For Earth has 5, we got 5 for Venus, and then 7 letters of Mercury. So here's like a more accurate way to get the lengths of each word in the list, if that's what you require from your program. And that is it for this video. Just a couple more techniques on how we can read through some basic text files and stuff. In the next video we'll cover some slightly newer features, couple more methods, things like that.